Hello everybody, we are the Geeks and Degenerates. I am Enzo, this is my forever co-host John, and yeah, we're right on time for Warfare to come out on digital. Like, right as I said, we might not be able to watch it since it's not on digital right now when we film Sinners. Lo and behold, it came out on digital, so lucky us, we get to talk about it.
Yeah.
So, this being an A24 movie, were you looking forward to it?
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Like, people were already going crazy about it because, like, this isn't our first, like, A24 film that's a horror film.
Yeah.
But it is. We didn't know how Alex Garland was gonna go at it, you know?
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, this is fully focusing, this is, like, not fiction.
Yeah.
This is a true story. So we're like, I don't know, like, when you hear a true story, you don't really hear A24 doing those kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, like he directed this along with Ray Mendoza, who is an Iraq War veteran. It's crazy to think
He
that
was there.
yeah, it's crazy to think that the Iraq War isn't like, say, World War II, which is like 80 years ago at this point. It's like 20 years right now, almost 20 years, which is insane to think that for half our lifetime there was a major war going on, and this is the story of that. I love the fact that the only point that you get any kind of music or liveliness in this movie is the beginning with the Marines.
Yeah. with calling me or fuck, what was it called again?
Call on Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the only time you get any sort of joy in this movie. This movie is a good movie, but it's quite suspenseful as you join this group of Marines as they search for the insurgency that's happening in Iraq, and like you don't really get any development. This is kind of like Dunkirk, where you don't get any development with the soldiers. You just know they're a unit.
But you know what's weird is that as much as I love Christopher Nolan and as much as I respect him as a filmmaker, this was not as messy as Dunkirk.
Yeah, there's no time shifts where you're like, I don't understand time dynamic. I really don't.
Yeah. Like, there's not a lot of things going on from outside the perspective of the unit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like you're just in this enclosed space.
Yeah.
And you're just getting to know everybody here. And I'm like, the entire time, like, oh, okay. I'm knowing A24, I know they won't go beat for beat what a typical movie would go with. Like, say, 13 hours. Like, that's a true story, but of course, it's very action-packed. It's very, you get to know your characters. You have a main character, the guy we see the world through.
Yeah.
His eye, like, we use his eyes to see his point of view on the world.
Yeah.
Here we are getting to see none of that.
Yeah.
We're dropped in, and we feel like, as a moviegoer, part of the unit.
Yeah.
Like, you are a completely different person, detached from everybody else. You're just there with them, and especially in their quiet moments.
Yeah.
Where they're just doing recon. Some people are just doing radio work. I don't know anything, by the way, when it comes to military shit. So I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're just waiting around, doing their thing, doing like recon.
Yeah.
And they're seeing like suspicious people. And like, yeah, a lot of times nothing happens, and I feel like a lot of people who are used to the traditional kind of war film, again, like say Black Hawk Down, 13 Hours, or Saving Private Ryan, they might not like this film all that much.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, this is the best war film out there.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
it's just quiet. It's absolute quiet.
It's just quiet. Like, a lot of times, that's what happens at war, is that sometimes you just hunker down, and sometimes nothing happens.
Yeah.
But when something does fucking happen, when a little grenade just into the room, all hell breaks loose, and it's just that one thing.
Yeah.
You know, like in action movies, you'll have bombs going off, you got people shooting, and you're like, do you see the hero just going at it?
Yeah.
Here, just one grenade, and they're just like, up on my knees, I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Even me, if I was in that room, I've been like, get me home, I want to go home.
Yeah. I do love the sound design. Like, they do the usual thing when the grenade goes off, the and like the way they play with sound, like some people are more muffled than the others. I'm like, never thought of it that way.
I was actually looking for it, and they didn't do the like the tinnitus sounding thing.
Yeah.
It was it was just muffled.
Yeah.
But Alex Garland did such an amazing job, and I think also from Ray Mendoza,
Yeah.
for sure, since he was in that
Yeah.
situation. He gave that little bit of detail that, depending on how far you were from the grenade, it's a different experience. Like when it came to John, was this John Blackthorne?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, his was a little bit more like ringing, while the blonde guy on the other side, he was like kind of okay, but he's still like disoriented,
Yeah.
but not as bad as John Blackthorne and the rookie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was like 5 feet, or like maybe 2 inches away from the grenade.
Yeah. The guy playing Ray Mendoza himself. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a guy who was supposed to be Ray in this movie. The guy looking over Sam as he was nursing his legs.
Yeah. But he wasn't close to the grenade though.
Oh yeah, that's true. Took me a while to recognize John Blackthorne from Shogun. I was like, oh, that's Anjin son. Like you only get really invested because you know the actors, but like aside from that, it's just a series of very unfortunate events. You think like once they start retreating, you're like, this is a quick mission, and then IED explodes, and you're like, I guess they're gonna be here for a long while.
You know how crazy it was? Is that when I had to look like at the videos explaining this movie, or like just a deep dive into it,
Yeah.
it wasn't an IED. That's the crazy part, is that we're so distraught as well. We don't know what the fuck is happening in the situation. We didn't notice that it was actually an RPG.
Oh.
I was like, what? That's why I was like, I loved it, because it's like, again, they put it in a way that, hey, we're in their situation as well. You don't know what happened. The comms didn't even know what happened. They're like, hey, we're kind of scared that there might be IEDs around,
yeah.
when there was none. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Poor, poor Eddie from Stranger Things and John Blackthorne have like their legs ripped to shit. Like,
yeah,
Cosmo Jarvis's legs are in worse shape than Sam's legs, but like it's not easy to compare because they're both like losing blood real fast, and like it's not like those movies that glorify the American army where they're like, I can take it, I can just bandage it up. Here they're just like, my legs, help me please.
a fucking lone survivor.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where they're just like taking grenades to the face or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fucked up. Cause like I also love the entire sequence before that, the scene before that, where they're like bugging out, and it's
Yeah.
an entire process.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it takes this long to bug out.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought they just like book it and go.
Exactly. Like I
And
forgot.
it's very real.
Yeah, that the military, or at least the American military, has like is very precise in their actions. Well, at least the modern American military. So like, as long as they're not out of sequence, they work as this unit, and you see how disciplined and like well trained they are. But even the most disciplined and well trained soldiers can't obviously expect an RPG right to their legs. So that why they have to act fast.
That poor interpreter, though, who just absolutely took it to the chest.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened, because majority of him wasn't there anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it was just like an entire scene, and I'm just like, that's when shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Where it's just anxiety. Don't put up that fucking song, I swear to God. But but yeah, it's just an entire moment of just anxiety. Will Poulter, by the way, when he was being like commander, where it's like, oh, like he's like, oh, show of force,
Yeah.
he's like on comms, kind of hot. I'm like, when has Will Poulter been this sexy? But I love his character, is that he is the captain,
Yeah.
or like just the leader of the team. And you could see him just absolutely crumble as a leader.
Yeah. And that's
But
why,
of course he can't just say that to his team.
yeah.
He's like trying to kind of like mask it and just like, yeah, all right, and he's like, he got like his like what did they say again? His shit rocked. Or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, he's like, I'm fucked up, man. You need to take over.
Yeah.
I do like how they show the realistic version of the show of Force, where they have a low flying jet. Because I'm like, you see it in other movies, and you're not like, I always wondered like, what's it like to be on the ground when the jet flies over? Like that's what the American military did for like Iraq, to like show force, and to Afghanistan too. And like you're like,
This was
what's it like on the ground? And you see it.
this was my first time seeing show of force actually
Yeah.
in a movie. I don't think I've seen another movie where they do show of force.
Well, if you watch Andor and you watch the Imperial military show of Force of the TIE Fighters.
Right.
Yeah.
It like did a low flying thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a show of force. Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually interesting.
So like any other movie trying to, or like if you're Tony Gilroy trying to show an imperialistic military trying to intimidate or like lower army, like that's how you do it. But I do like how, like I'm sure Ray Mendoza had all the suggestions he did for Alex Garland, because again he is an Iraq vet. So and you see him train like the actors of like how to move like a soldier, like a U.S. soldier.
In behind the scenes.
Yeah. Like it's funny how they're also not afraid to show that some people get lost in the sauce. Like that one U.S. soldier is just like, all right, let's do this. Hits for Sam's legs.
Hoorah! Let's go, buddy! And, like, he's tapping his like fucked up leg, and Ray Mendoza just had to be like, dude, back off. He doesn't need this right now.
Exactly. Like this kind of movie is like very hard for me not to Google, because I'm like, I don't want Sam and Cosmo Jarvis's character to die. I want to Google, but like I don't want to break my suspense, so I'll just deal with it. And it really is like uncut gems, but like based on a true story. And like the fact that it's based on a true story, you're like, one of them dies, right? Because you're expecting that to happen. Thankfully, none of them die, and you're like, oh, thank God.
You know what's the craziest thing? Well, one of them does die. It's the interpreter, but like,
Yeah.
one of the interpreters. But like, the entire time we've been watching this movie, and this is like probably the first war movie that I've seen where the U.S. Army doesn't hit anybody.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, of course, you see like that one team.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that actor, the Asian actor. As they close into their like little house.
Yeah.
Sure, you could see them like take out a couple of people, but the whole time you're just like, wow, this team hasn't hit anybody.
Yeah, it just shows how realistic this movie is. Like it shows like, just real life combat isn't a fucking Call of Duty
Action.
operation. Yeah.
Right. You're just, a lot of the times it's just suppressive fire, and I'm just like, yeah, that's crazy. Because you see one guy just like trying to shoot, but there's like bullets whizzing by his head, so he's just like I do not want to
Right.
like take that to the face. Especially the rookie guy, he's just like, every time they're like take point, he's just like, okay, yeah, he's just like, all right.
Yeah, you see these Marines with like D-Day size machine guns, and you're like, they're gonna hit something, right? And they hit nothing, because they're also like, I don't wanna die. And like the Iraqi army is just like, I don't wanna die either. You're like, that's fascinating. That's this realistic.
Yeah, and just like this, what?
It's fascinating that it's this realistic. Like you don't see that in Hollywood every day. Like definitely don't see it in Hollywood ever. Actually, now that I think about it.
Yeah, and I love that this movie does not glorify the military in any way.
Yeah.
This has, like, if there was a bit of me, it was like, yeah, I could fight in a war.
Yeah, this kills whatever. Like maybe I can. No, I can handle that. Can't definitely see my buddies losing blood at the speed of sound. Can't handle that as the gunfire's whizzing over me. Like I like civilian life.
Dude, just like imagine if like something goes off near you, like a bomb or an RPG, and you just can't hear anything, and you're just like, oh, one of my senses is down for a while,
right?
And you're just like, what am I gonna fucking do now?
Right? All I can do is either run and hope no one hits me, or shoot back and no one hits me. And you're like,
yes,
I don't know how soldiers do it. I have utmost respect for them, but at the same time, it's like I saw a review that said this is a glorification of the American military. I was like, how? When?
You did not watch the movie.
Yeah.
I've never been more scared to join the military.
Yeah.
Like, Also, John Blackthorne's character, like, I already thought he was a goner.
Yeah, me too.
I was
But the
like,
state
alright,
of
this
his
guy
body.
is, yeah. But the dude wakes up like maybe a quarter of the movie,
Yeah,
and then people are like, "Oh shit, he's fine."
yeah. You're like, I don't know if that's because the Marines are built different or he's just, probably he's just fucking lucky.
He was just fucking lucky,
Yeah.
you know.
And like everybody here is real. Like you see the like credits of like the real people with the respected actors. Even the family is real. I do like the last shot that shows that no matter in what war, the last people to clean up and pay the price is civilians. And you're like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
a message.
yeah, and it does like scream at you that, especially the end of this movie, there
Yeah.
are no winners in war.
Yeah,
No, none other than one.
yeah,
The Marines booked it. The insurgencies or the insurgents didn't get any of them,
yeah,
and it's just like, yeah, nobody fucking wins. And I look at that, like, it just cuts right there. You know, they don't show, oh, them coming home to their family, American flag waving in the air.
yeah.
Nah, they're just like, well, we just had the most horrible day of our life.
Exactly.
You know,
And it's kind of
and like, yeah.
tragic for the Iraqis too, because you like if you've seen documentaries and watched podcasts about the Iraq War, you're like, this is all built on like bullshit anyway. So
Yep.
they invaded Iraq for nothing, and the insurgency is just like, I guess that's another day of the American invasion. Shit, I guess tomorrow's a new day. You're like,
Yeah.
shit.
Yep. And just like I don't know, probably one of the best war films today because it's just very real. And again, I love it when a war film, somewhat like All's Quiet on the Western Front and Now Warfare,
Yeah,
where they just depict that it's just miserable. If you're a person who thinks that, hey, this is a way of living, or
Yeah.
like, this is a way to fight for your country, eesh.
Yeah.
If it is, be prepared. You're
Yeah.
gonna lose your mind.
yeah. Like it just shows how warfare definitely is not the way. Like in modern times, like diplomacy should be first, peace should be
Yeah.
first. And like it's crazy to think that there have been two, no, well, one war and one genocide happening within our lives. Well, we're watching it on the news and like being like, that's horrible. It's like the cycle repeats itself all over again. Like back in '06 with the Iraq War, where we're like, that's horrible, and we just go about our lives being like, I hope that never happens to us. Hopefully it never
Yeah.
will in this century.
Things aren't looking that great, buddy.
I know. I still want to be optimistic. Jesus Christ, things are. I barely look at the news sometimes, so I'm like, you know what?
Yeah,
Not today.
it's like, out of my like mental health, I'm like, all right, cool. For today, I won't look.
Yeah,
Please God, tomorrow let there be good news.
yeah. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll look at it on Wednesday. Maybe the world
But,
shifts.
yeah,
Yeah.
and and just to see that, like, this is just maybe an afternoon or like morning to an afternoon
Yeah.
kind of event,
For the
and
Marines.
for the Marines, and all of that can just happen to you
Yeah.
and pretty much take you out of it.
Yeah.
Even like Will Poulter's character is just like, hey, got my shit rocked. Please take command. I can't.
Right. Yeah. Again, the realism of war is brought here thanks to Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza, and like, I'm grateful I've watched this movie. But to steal your line, I don't think I'll watch it for a while. Like, you know what? Maybe next year I can watch it again.
I do want to dissect it a bit. Like, this is it is a terrifying movie.
Yeah.
It is absolutely nightmare fuel. But I just want to go at it again just to see, like, all the things, and then that's when I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna take a break. Like, I might not touch this thing for a while, but I was just so fascinated with how Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland did this entire thing.
Yeah.
It's not a fun time. Just saying, if you're a person who's susceptible to anxiety, it's just this dialed to 100 the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
When nothing even is happening, you're just like, oh god. Or like you see a soldier, his ears are ringing, he's standing in the middle of everything. Where I'm like, get to cover.
Right?
You know, you're like yelling at him, like, please, you're gonna get shot.
I don't think that's the best strategy, buddy. But you just please limp slowly back to the house. Just limp.
Limp low.
Exactly. What would you rate Warfare?
I don't know. I don't know if there's like any downside to this movie.
Yeah.
Other than it doesn't follow the conventional way of like, well, that's not a downside of like filmmaking.
Yeah.
There's no like what do you call it, closure.
Yeah.
For us, other than all these guys made it out.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it, and it's very A24 of them. So I'm gonna give this one a 10 out of 10. It is one of my favorite movies, but as he said, like, I will take a break. I will watch it again, but I need a long break because I don't need that much anxiety.
Yeah.
In my day, you know, and it was just 90 minutes. It's not even a long fucking movie, but with the amount of stuff that's going on, it felt like forever.
Yeah. It's like almost the same length as The Lion King, but this feels like 10 times longer for some reason. You're like, when is the pressure gonna break? When are things gonna happen? And you're just waiting, and you're like, I can't take this anymore. I need to sit up or like do something while waiting. But you can't. You're glued to the screen. You're like, I have to show respect to this movie. Jesus Christ, I'm terrified.
And just like seeing that, like, everybody did a great job. The guy from Stranger Things, sorry, I keep forgetting his name. Like, he plays Johnny Storm. In the new Fantastic Four. Fucking amazing job. Even though, like, majority of him is screaming because his legs were blown up.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing job because it was too fucking real.
Yeah.
Will Poulter being a leader and everything. John Blackthorne, the kid who plays Ray Mendoza. I don't think I've seen him in anything recently.
I don't think I've seen him.
I think he's a little bit of a up and coming star.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody did their part well. No one, like, even the guy from Daredevil was there.
Michael Gandolfini.
Yeah. The son of the Sopranos.
Yeah.
Where he stabs himself with like the morphine.
Oh yeah, God, poor guy.
Yeah, so like with all of that, I would rather watch this than Uncut Gems.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen Uncut Gems since 2019.
Neither have I, and I think I stopped watching in the middle of it. Like, it was just too much.
Oh, I finished the whole thing. That's why I haven't seen it since then.
But yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. I think it's a very important movie.
Yeah.
For people to watch, especially for people who are a little bit blinded, maybe by Modern Warfare games, thinking that they can take a war.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You have to have an absolute, like, the absolute willpower to just go through a war.
Yeah.
Especially like one day of it.
Yeah.
It's already hell for some of them. Some of the people who are actually going through it. Yeah. Good job on Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland for doing an amazing job showcasing that side of war. And and we're gonna be talking about like Civil War as well, and I can't wait.
Yeah. I agree. 10 out of 10. Everybody played their part well. Everybody did their homework well. Definitely the research team recreated that entire section of Iraq well. A small corner of the street where to them might not be a big place, but to us in this movie was like the entire world being rattled, especially for the Marines who were there on that day in 06. And yeah, I love the fact that Alex Garland listened to Ray Mendoza and just didn't follow the, machismo American standard of war films where it's like takes shrapnel to the gut from an RPG and you're like, I can still stand, I can still do this, goes full Rambo. Here they're like, can't do shit, I'm bleeding out, I'm screaming to go home, and you're like, yep.
My finger's fucked up. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Cosmo Jarvis, Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm's name, the actor's name.
Joseph Quinn, love him.
Yeah, Kit Harington, Will Poulter, everybody else here did so well, and I think this is one of A24's and Alex Garland's best film up to date. So yeah, 10 out of 10 from both of us. To the audience watching, what's your favorite A24 movie? There's a whole long list at this point, and it's quite glorious, to be honest. Whether it's Warfare, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Ex Machina, I'm forgetting stuff, maybe even Bodies, if that's your kind of stick.
Yeah. Well, in the future, I think there's going to be a new favorite, and it is by Alex Garland.
Oh, Elden Ring?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of medieval stuff, Dev Patel is making another movie for A24. Yeah. And it's medieval too, so I can't wait to see both Elden Ring and...
The Peasant?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, A24 is still firing in all cylinders, and again, still one of my favorite studios to this day. Can't wait to see what they do in the future. But if you like what you see here, please leave a like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. We're also on Spotify and TikTok to see your best and funniest moments. Spotify to hear us on the go. And the video episode voices on TikTok and ends well on Letterboxd. Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me at JomJuM_ on Instagram and ismar.com.
And until the next time, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Ciao.